We continue now at the top of Daf Kufay Beis in Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 105b. And the previous Amud, the Gemara was dealing with the opinion of Benanis in the Mishnah. Benanis says that if a person makes a phrase, in the first part of the phrase he says one thing and then he contradicts with the second part, we follow Lashon Achron, we follow the last thing that the person says. And the Gemara is discussing whether Shmuel agrees with Benanis or not. And the Gemara says it seems that Shmuel does not agree, because Shmuel says that in the case of the Mishnah which talks about a bathhouse, over there you also have a situation of a contradiction. The person initially says that I'm selling it to you for 12 dinar for the year, but then he says 1 dinar per month. 1 dinar per month in a leap year would actually be 13 dinar. And so there Shmuel says that we just follow Chazakah. We don't follow the last part of the statement. We follow the Chazakah. So let's say the leap month is already over, and the Socher already rented the bathhouse. He was already in the bathhouse, and the masker wants extra money. So then let's say the Socher in that case would win, because the Chazakah is on his side. In any case, it seems to be that Shmuel does not agree with Benanis in the Mishnah. And so the Gemara says that's actually true. Really, what Shmuel was saying was, this is the opinion of Benanis, and he does not hold like Benanis. V'hasam time amai, and over there, what is the reason? Meaning over there, by the case of the bathhouse, what's the reason why we say that either you split it or the Socher wins, again, depending on the Chazakah. Misham the Tafis, it all has to do with who has it, who's the one that has the Chazakah. So Hachanami, so over here also is referring to another case that we had in the previous Amud. That's a case where the person contradicted. He said, I'm selling you a large amount, but then in the second part he said, I'm selling you every single saw for a seller. And so in that case we say that the sale is over with each saw. Every saw that the buyer takes, that part of the sale is over. We go by the later part. It seems like Benanis, but that's not what we're saying. Hachanami, over here we're saying the same thing. The reason is Hatafis. The reason is because every saw that the buyer takes, so he has a Chazakah. It's not that Shmuel was saying in that case that we follow the later phrase. Rather, what Shmuel was saying was we follow Chazakah. As the Rashbam explains, the Hasam Gabe Merchatz. What's the reason over there by the bathhouse? Time of Mayachlok. What's the reason why we say split it? Which again, Shmuel said we're talking in the middle of the month. That's why we're splitting it. Misham the Tafis Kol Echad Achatzi, because everybody actually, the Socher has half and the Masker has half. Kedu Kimna. As we said, Babba Basra Daf, we're talking in the middle of the month. That's the same according to the Rabbanan. They always follow Chazakah. That's what it means, Pachas Shebelashonos, as we said in the previous Amud. Shahamocher Muchzakuf, the Mocher is the Muchzak, Uchagon Shekibel Kvar Hadam. In a case where the seller is the Muchzak because he already has the money, so then he's going to win the case. We follow Chazakah. And the same thing is true in this case over here, where we talk about a saw per seller, where he says that I'm selling each saw for a seller. Hachanam here also got a Rishon Kana, where he said that every single saw that's taken, that's finalized, he acquires that saw and the deal is over for that saw. Hainu Taima, what's the reason? Hainu Taima do Tafis. The reason is not because we're following Lashon Achron, but it's because the buyer now has possession. Demasha Tafas lo mafkina mine. Whatever he's grabbed, whatever he has in his possession, we don't take away. V'lo misham Lashon Achron. It's not that we're following Lashon Achron. Tehu adini Amar Rivcha. It wouldn't matter what direction, even if he said it in the reverse direction. Still, this would be the halacha that we follow Chazakah, because we really don't know which Lashon we follow. And so again, the idea is that Shmuel does not hold like Benanis. And the Gemara continues, Amar Ravuna says, Amri Bei Rav, they say in the yeshiva of Rav, Istera Mea Moi, let's say the seller says to the buyer, I'm selling it to you for an Istera. An Istera is a silver coin that's worth 96 prutos. But then he says, Mea Moi, I'm selling it to you for 100 ma, which is 100 prutos. So what do we follow? Mea Moi, we follow the 100 ma. We say that it's 100 prutos. Mea Moi Istera, let's say it's the other way around. He says 100 prutos, but then he says an Istera, which again is 96. So Istera, then we follow the Istera. We always follow the last phrase. And so the Gemara says, "My kamash malon." Well, what is he teaching us? Tfos lashon achron. He's teaching us that Rav says that we go by the final expression. Ha'amra Rav chadazimna, but Rav already said that. Diyama Rav, because Rav said, "Yihavoy hasm." If I was there, hava yehivna kule lamasker. I would say that the masker wins the case. Again, this is talking about the case of renting the bathhouse, and the question is, what do you do with the leap month? So in that situation, Rav said he would say that the masker wins the case, and in that situation, the final expression, the last phrase was that I'm selling it to you for 1 dinar per month, and essentially Rav is saying we follow the 1 dinar per month, and therefore the masker gets paid for that extra month, for the extra month of the leap year, and so therefore over there we see that Rav follows the final expression. Why do you have to say it again? And the Gemara says, Ma'u detema, no, because what might you have said? Again, in the case of renting the bathhouse, prushe kamefarish, there's a possibility that the later phrase, that final expression, is really just explaining the first one. He said, I'm selling it to you for 12 dinar per year. Let me explain what that means. means? That means 1 dinar per month. So of course over there we follow the final expression. In that case, that doesn't necessarily mean that in a case where they directly contradict one another, we would follow the final expression. So kamash malon. So that's what it's teaching us. We're saying over here that Rav says in general we always follow the final expression in all situations, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kovav Amud Aleph.